Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I'm going to do your spiritual principle a day in a meditation for June the 12th. I'm looking forward to this meditation. It's already the 12th of June, so I'm hoping that you're steadily headed towards your goals because summer will be over soon before we know it. Okay, let's see here. It is entitled Kindness Reflected in Our Growth. This is what it says. We learn that people see goodness in us that perhaps we don't see in ourselves. Our fellows reflect us back to ourselves and show us how we have changed. That comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 2, Connection to Others. In our first days clean, most of us feel utterly horrible about ourselves. We're sick from withdrawals. We hate everybody, whether we know them or not. We're ashamed, mostly because we got caught. We're PO'd at jails, institutions, and in some cases, not dying. Our outlook on the future is just as dark. We have to go to these stupid meetings for the rest of our lives and we can never use drugs again. And we have to give to the meeting, to each other, to our dad who messed us up in the first place because of his using, to the old lady who lives in the flat downstairs, even though she's mean to us. And we have to be nice all the time and talk about our problems and listen to other people's problems and help other addicts who are more messed up than we are. Being even slightly positive about our future requires an impossible effort. Eventually, our resistance cracks. We do the deal, meetings, sponsors, steps, service, and we're there for newcomers. We find a higher power and start praying and meditating. We forgive dad and make sure he has all his meds, and we don't take any of them. We gratefully accept our elderly neighbor's terrible holiday fruitcake and pick up her yappy little dog's poo when she does it. When she criticizes our new tattoo, we smile instead of plotting her death. Sometimes we do these things begrudgingly, but mostly it's second nature now. On occasion, people notice. After we share a few IPs with a newcomer, an old timer who remembers who we are when we first came in and hugs us longer than usual and looks deeply into our eyes, tears brimming. What's up? We ask. It's awkward. You, the member tells us, are so different. So different. We protest. Oh, come on. All we did was give someone an IP, but our resistance to this also cracks. We do the right thing, say thanks, and hug them back. I'll aim to be kind and generous today. If someone points it out, I'll say thanks. I can acknowledge them and acknowledge that I've changed. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. What a beautiful meditation, right? This meditation, it just captures our beginning days and it captures those awkward moments in between to the point where today we're not angry every time someone speaks to us. And even when someone's giving us a compliment and we might be thinking they're full out of their mind, we're still able to do the right thing for the right reasons. It's the right thing to be generous and kind to people, to say thank you when they compliment you instead of trying to blow it off and make nothing out of whatever they're complimenting us on. Yeah, that's the right thing. Compared to who we were when we first got to the meetings, oh, we've come a long way. We've come a long way, and we can celebrate that. We can allow others to celebrate that today. Today, if someone comes up to you and they thank you for something, or they tell you how different you are, they compliment you for something, just say, thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate that. They hug you and you don't feel like hugging them back, release a little bit. Just at least embrace them a little bit. It doesn't have to be, like a long, awkward embrace, but give in just a little bit. Compromise just a little bit. If it's an appropriate hug, yeah, absolutely. Why not? Because we're not the same people that we used to be. Here's the thing. When it's about attraction rather than promotion, when it's about spirituality versus religiosity, when it's about growth and not being stunted or stuck or in a rut by choice, it feels good. It's okay to smile. It's okay to cry. But it's also okay to show that we've matured, that our spiritual growth has gone further than when we first got here. We talk about spirituality like there's no bad spirituality, right? I mean, we talk about it like it's only a virtue, right? There's a lot of spiritual things that I was caught up in that were not virtuous, that were not light, were not full of happiness and joy, peace, and love, and none of that. There's a lot of spiritual things that take place that are very dark. Basic text calls it a lower destructive power. It's still a power, and it's still deeply spiritual in a negative sense. So when I say to show our spiritual growth in a positive way, you can grow towards dark or you can grow towards light. We have to be realistic about the fact that spirituality is not this, it's like saying love is always good. Love is not always good. It should be, but it's not. It's gotten so diluted. It's become lustful. And unless we are spiritual in our minds and have spiritual principles in a positive way, we might not even recognize the difference between the two and be calling something that is actually hate love. There is probably, I would say, now someone could challenge me on this and it would be okay because I haven't done the research, right? But for every positive side, every virtue, there's a flip side of it, right? A coin has two sides. So a lot of the stuff that we call survival instincts, streetwise, right? A lot of those principles we lived by when we're out there have a flip side towards positivity, right? And pretty much every spiritual principle that we are ever going to talk about or be exposed to has a dark side to it as well. So when we're talking about our growth, kindness reflected in our growth, the ability to be kind and respond to people in a positive, loving, kind way, that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know about you, but that's where I'm headed. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to bite my tongue more often, more readily and quickly. Right? I don't want everything that comes to my mind to just slip out. No, I don't want that because generally speaking, it's harmful. Generally speaking, it's harmful. So I try to check what comes out of my mouth. The thoughts I have a hard time with sometimes, but I try to make sure that I pause, that I'm listening, and that my response is loving and caring. Because in this world today, you just don't ever know when your response to a person will be the last response that they ever hear, right? And I want to impact people positively, don't you? Listen, my name is Mighty Stream. I'm looking forward to my workout with the boys today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day. I intend to, and remember today, show your growth in kindness and all positive spiritual principles. Let it show. Give people something to be attracted to. Have a beautiful day on purpose. Talk to you tomorrow.